Look at this consistent upload schedule. If you're watching this as it goes up, I fly to Disney World tomorrow. Unless you're watching it a lot later than I uploaded it, in which case I might not be. Or I probably am. And to celebrate, I felt like making a Walt Disney Park inspired video. So I was actually having this debate with a few of you on Instagram the other day on rides and attractions at Walt Disney World that we think are either overhyped or don't get the attention that they deserve. So I'm just going to run through a quick list and go through each of Walt Disney World's 4 main parks and just say one ride or attraction that I think is overrated and one that is underrated. Let's go. There's not enough Disney in this shot, is there? Bear with me. Animal Kingdom. Underrated? Dinosaur. And actually it's kind of adequately rated, but hear me out, because I put it on this list because I want to save it. Now for anybody who doesn't know, Dinosaur is a ride that takes you back in time on a mission to find an iguanodon. Oh, what did I just say? Iguanodon. To find an iguanodon, and bring it back to the present day for science. The pre-show involves a dinosaur puppet, cheesy dialogue, and a rogue employee. I'm here for it. We're all here for it, Disney. In this pre-show, you're warned not to go back to this specific set of coordinates because that takes you back to the moment right before the meteor shower completely wipes out dinosaur life. Don't question why, you'll ruin everything. Now the ride itself will see you flung around in this ride vehicle as you navigate through various prehistoric scenes with some very large animatronic dinosaurs. They are terrifying, they will come for you. Don't take my word for it, take my facial expressions. Watch yourself. Now the reason it's on this list is that I have heard that Disney want to retheme this area and the ride to an Indiana Jones ride. I'm not here for it. Not our dino. We can't lose Dinoland USA. People may have been livid when Beastly Kingdom was cut in favour of Dinoland USA, but god damn it Disney, you made us fall in love with that little Hot Mess Express. Don't get me wrong, I do think it could work if you rethemed Dinoland USA to this kind of like Aztec inspired area. I think it'd be more in keeping with the rest of the park. It would work better with the overall theme. I'm not against the area being rethemed, but if you do, I have a different proposition for you, Disney. Move Dinoland USA to Disney Springs. Hear me out. Disney Springs would not suffer from this cute little small town roadside carnival kind of thing, and Dinoland is pretty much that anyway. I think if you included similar DJ sets to what they currently do, then it would also give kids a nightlife in Disney Springs. You could either introduce some kind of like night daycare thing and let adults drop off their kids there before they go have fun in Disney Springs. I'm actually seeing like drunk parents picking their kids up at 2 AM and then trying to stumble their way back to a hotel. I've gone off track now. The point is, show your love for Dinosaur before we lose it forever. So my overrated attraction in Animal Kingdom is Kali River Rapids. Now by no means this is the most hyped attraction at Animal Kingdom, but I do hear a lot of people really go on about it. And I get that it's like the only ride of its kind at Disney. But for me, with Universal not far away featuring 2 better themed, incredibly immersive rides that are like guaranteed to get you soaked, I just don't think it really holds up. I would never recommend not doing it, but I've really heard some people rave about it and it's not really one I'm that bothered by. So Hollywood Studios. The attraction that I think is underrated at Hollywood Studios is the Voyage of the Little Mermaid. More specifically, the effects in Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Name me one other show in Disney World that gives you a human in dog costume, live vocals, and animated laser fish. Got nothing? That's what I thought. This show is so beautifully dated. It really has not aged well, and that is why I love it so much. You can clearly see the people behind the puppets. Half of the show is animated clips from the original film, and if you haven't seen the original film, don't expect much in terms of a flawless narrative here. There's this Ursula puppet that comes out halfway through. She's huge, she's awesome. She doesn't really do much other than roll around and wave her arms, but she's iconic all the same. They have this one effect that they have like a smoke screen at the top of the theatre and they project like water waves onto it. So you feel like you're under the sea. It fools nobody and it's amazing. I don't know how long this show has left. I would much rather see it replaced than updated. I want the show exactly as it is, or not at all. My overrated ride in Hollywood Studios, don't come for me, it's Rock and Roller Coaster. I just want to throw in a quick reminder that just because I think something is overrated does not mean I think it's bad. I do think Rock and Roller Coaster is fun, it's fast, it's different to anything else that's really in Disney, but I don't fly overseas and spend thousands of pounds on flights and tickets for fast roller coasters. We can get those in the UK. What the UK doesn't really offer that much of is immersive theming. The reason I spend so much money on Disney holidays is because for those few weeks I'm taken out of the real world and I'm placed into this like expertly constructed, beautiful fantasy world, and Rock and Roller Coaster doesn't really give me that. Sorry. I do still do it a couple of times when I go because it is fun, but a lot of people put this as their favourite ride in Hollywood Studios, and it's literally next to this drop tower that takes you to the Twilight Zone. Like, how? On to Epcot. Now, I've thought long and hard about which attraction I think is underrated at Epcot. There's quite a lot of different kind of rides and attractions, and do you know what I decided? I don't think many people will expect this. The Shanghai exhibition. Some people might not agree, it is a bit of a wild card, but in the China Pavilion, when you go in, there is currently a exhibition of the Shanghai Disneyland. It's essentially just an exhibition where you can walk around and there's like little small scale replicas of like the ride systems and different aspects of the theming and stuff that's on offer at Disneyland Shanghai. And if you're a bit of a theme park geek like me, I just love all that kind of stuff, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to afford to go over there, so I thought it was really cool that I could see it all. And there was loads of like video promotion material and stuff like that, as well as this like replica of the map and layout of the theme park. I just thought it was really cool, and it's something that could quite easily be missed. If you're not sold on the Shanghai exhibition, then I don't know, Grand Fiesta or something. If you've seen a few of my videos before, I don't think it will come as a shock to you that the ride that I think is overrated in Epcot is Sauron. Now, I really used to dislike this ride. A lot of people really hyped it up to me, so I was really excited, and it's just a big screen and you kind of dangle in front of it. When I went in December, I was introduced to seat B1, which I will admit was a lot better. I could actually smell the smells and things as well, which I haven't always been able to do on my ride throughs. Seat B1 definitely gave me more of the wonder, but especially now you've got Flight of Passage over at Animal Kingdom, that's just a more immersive, better use of the same ride system. I just think people really give Sauron more time than it deserves. People will queue an hour for this ride, longer even, and no. I guess it is a good one to do if you're someone that doesn't like roller coasters and don't experience like severe motion sickness or anything. Some people really harp on about it, and I could take it or leave it. So now we move on to the final park, Magic Kingdom. Which ride do I think is underrated in Magic Kingdom? The People Mover. Maybe it's just because I'm getting old. Maybe I just like the excuse to sit down for a while. But the People Mover is a god amongst rides. If you don't know, the People Mover is essentially this open top cart train thing. Definitely a better way to describe that. So it's this open top cart train thing full of sofas, but instead of cushions and throw pillows, you just get hard plastic. It takes you around the top of Tomorrowland, into each of Tomorrowland's attractions, gives you a bit more information, gives you a bit of backstory on it, a bit of a behind the scenes kind of thing. It's shaded, there's a breeze, gives you an excuse to sit down while technically still experiencing something, and there's this like cute retro futuristic music playing in the background from Tomorrowland. It's just really nice, and it's a ride that if you're only ever going once you could quite easily overlook and not think to experience. Onto the overrated attraction, and I don't know if this is going to be controversial or if a lot of people will agree, but I really think that one ride that is overrated in Magic Kingdom is Peter Pan's Flight. Now, I'm always so conflicted when it comes to this ride, because it's one of those like classic older rides that you feel like you have to do, and it's kind of got the same appeal that Voyage of the Little Mermaid has, where it's so dated, it's charming. As charming as the ride is, you can always hear the surrounding show scenes, so it kind of takes you out of the magic a bit. Like, you'll be looking over the scene of like The Lost Boys and you'll just hear, "Fire, Mr. Smee!" Or, help me, Mr. Smee, help me. It just completely takes you out of it. With its flaws and its charms, I should love it. But the reason I don't is because the queue is always 45 to 90 minutes long. Like, you have to use a fast pass if you don't want to queue for a long time for it. And for me, I like to use fast passes on my favourite rides. And this isn't a ride I want to waste a fast pass on. But I also refuse to queue. So I always resent the ride because I have to use a fast pass on it when I could be using that fast pass on something else. In fact, let me give you a list of fast pass eligible rides that I prefer going on to Peter Pan's Flight. Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Jungle Cruise, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Enchanted Tales with Belle, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. So why am I using a fast pass for this ride when I prefer all of these other experiences more? It's purely because you have to play the game of lines, and I don't want to wait for it. Because of Peter Pan's Flight, I have to choose between my mountains, and I hate it for that. I don't want to use my fast pass for Peter Pan's Flight, and yet... What? So that's my take on overrated and underrated attractions at Walt Disney World. I hope you liked them, because I'm right. And there will be some Disney vlogs coming soon. Next week, week after. I hope you'll all join me for that. Feel free to leave your opinions down in the comments. Let's start a war. And if you take one thing away from today's video, it is that we need to save Dinosaur. Bye.